Hello everyone! Welcome to Downtown Tailoring. In today's video, we are gonna fix a very beloved suede coat. It's good everywhere except for this part of the shoulder. So let's go! This is my customer suede coat and the damage is around here on the shoulder. I don't know if it's the purse strap or what is it, but we have to do something. The customer brought to me this suede leather piece. She got it at the fabric store and I know it's not the same color, but this is the only one they had. So we are gonna make it work. The idea will be to cover the whole side, the whole piece at the front with this one, but I feel like it's not big enough, that piece. Let me open it to see how it goes. I seriously don't understand why they will staple it. I really don't understand it, but this is what it is. It has a little mark where the staple was, but we will see what we can do. To make that job a little bit comfortable, you have to open enough your coat because it will be easier to work around. I'm gonna open the sleeves where I need to put the patches, and I'm gonna open the shoulders as well. We could have the tendency to make just one piece over the shoulder, but believe me, it's more job and it's more difficult. So better to open and put two pieces as it was originally. So I feel like I can put one piece on top until more or less half of the piece. As I don't have enough, I'm gonna put it on the mannequin to see if it will look good. And I kind of mark it, and I feel like what I need to do is to make it parallel to the piece so it looks like a design. So I'm gonna measure the same distance, I'm gonna make sure that it's the same so it will be completely parallel to the bottom part of the piece. I'm gonna do that at the back too, and I'm gonna use this old Ziploc bag. The plastic of the Ziploc is sturdy enough that I can mark a piece and cut it from it. Let me open a little bit more, and I'm gonna use a Sharpie to mark the piece that I want. As you can see, I mark the piece and I mark as well the seam allowance. And I'm gonna make the same at the back part. The reason I use the plastic is because it's so transparent that it's so easy, and then I can write on it, I can cut it because it's stable enough, and I have all my marks, and it will allow me to nicely cut the pieces I need. So I have my two pieces, the front and the back. I label the shoulder line so I don't make any mistake. And now I'm gonna see if those pieces will fit on my piece of suede. If I put it a little bit inverted, maybe it will fit without me having to use the part that is a little damaged. And I think, yes, I will have enough material to cut them both. So let me fold it this way. Oh, yes. Fold it that way, it will be enough. So I'm gonna put it and I'm gonna mark it. And when I know that I have enough, I'm gonna cut to split the suede so I can cut my pieces in an easier way. I'm gonna use some binder clips to hold the fabric while I'm cutting it. And I'm gonna just cut around. And here you go. I have my 4 pieces, 2 pieces, one for the front and one for the back at each side of my coat. Then I'm gonna go to my sewing machine, and as you can see, I know exactly which piece I'm using. It's the front one, and then the other is still with its plastic, so it's labeled so I can work with it and I won't get confused at all. As I consider half an inch for seam allowance, I'm gonna trace a line half an inch higher than the line I did before, and this line will be my guide so I can put the piece and I can sew on top. And that way I make sure that I sew exactly where I needed to sew. Then I'm gonna make a top stitch on that seam, and I'm gonna make sure to stitch all around so my piece on top will be stable. And then I'm gonna cut the excess of seam allowance. Remember that I left half an inch all around, but it didn't have half an inch the original all around, just in a few parts. Now that my front piece is all done, then I can sew the front part the way it was before. I'm just confirming that it will be all well aligned and nice, and I sew exactly where the original seam was. And now I'm gonna top stitch as it was originally, and look at that, it looks fantastic. I'm gonna do exactly the same now at the back piece. And as you can see, I'm using a Teflon foot so the suede can slide easier, and it's so easy that it's like I'm sewing fabric and not leather. The front and the back are done, and I have to sew the shoulders, but as you can see, the opening is too close to the collar. If I just try to sew it that way, it will be probably a little messy. You can do it, but the best thing to do is to open the collar just a little bit so we can slide the foot as much as we need. When sewing this shoulder, I make sure to align the back seam and the front seam so it looks a little better. Now that it's almost done, I just have to sew back the shoulder pads in the same way that it was sewn before. This will be a good moment as well to replace that shoulder pads and put a new one if you wanted a little bit more structure. To close this, we have to close everything, and the last thing you close is the sleeve, because you use the opening of the sleeve to turn the jacket in. If you want, I can do a video about that. I didn't want it to waste time in that part because it's just not part of the job. And here you go. This is the coat. What do you think? It looks great. This is a superb job. I usually don't say that about my own job because that was forbidden in my education, but I feel like this job is so well done. As you can see, you just need to take the right route and you will have a good job without too much of the sacrifices. After the job was done, I did that job a few months ago, and my customer told me that her daughter stole that jacket because she absolutely loved that job. You can see the before and you can see the after, and it's like it was meant to be this way. You see, that was easy, right? Sometimes we have something damaged in our closet and we think that it will be so difficult to repair, but with a little bit of imagination, we can do it. If you find this video useful or entertaining, please give us a like and don't forget to subscribe, share, comment. Bye!